Welcome to the JD Power Innovating the Customer Experience podcast. I'm Michael Vermillion with JD Power, and with me today are Scott Killingsworth, Rich Bongiorno, and Denese Waiters, all with JD Power. So Scott, Rich, Denese, welcome.
Hi, thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Great to be here.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here as well.
So team, brands are constantly challenged with the evolving customer expectations, emerging technologies, and just a relentless competitive landscape. So what we have in mind is to help brands navigate this demanding environment. JD Power is introducing the Innovating the Customer Experience podcast. So what we plan to do is feature thought leaders, game changers, and innovators in customer experience. It's going to be a rapid-paced format. It's going to keep everybody up to date on the latest thinking and the emerging technologies without taking a large chunk of time out of the day. So just to kind of kick this off and set the stage, Scott, why don't we start with you? What are some of the challenges that you're seeing today with your clients when it comes to either evolving customer expectations or emerging technologies or just this relentless competition we see out there?
Yeah, Mike, you said something that really resonated that all of our clients are facing is this concept of expectations and how they're being set, right? So I know everyone's heard this, but good experience anywhere influences expectations everywhere. So every time someone experiences an innovation or they have a great experience, they carry those expectations into every interaction that they have. And so there's a lot of companies out there innovating. It could be something that sometimes folks take for granted. If someone calls customer service that IVR experience, it's very, very important for the customer. There's companies out there that are using natural language, AI, one, to try and solve the problem without the need to speak to a human, but the other benefit of that is getting them to the right person and having all of their previous account history, or maybe they've used other channels and have struggled to find an answer. There's technology out there that will, one, give them a better chance of self-serving and saving that interaction with a human being, the cost of that. But if they do end up needing to speak to a human, that person that they're transferred to has their history. They can see it right away, know that maybe they went to the web, we couldn't find their answer, and help them come to quicker resolution. Those expectations really carry over once someone has that to every single call that they make. And if you're really doing two things, one, not measuring experience with your IVR in that case, and knowing where you stand relative to those innovators out there. And I think that's one area where JD Power, through our syndicated studies, our benchmark data, we can help you understand what a great experience is with the IVR, for example, or any of the channels. But one, you need to measure it to find out where your gaps are and how your customers are rating you with that element of the experience. So it's very important to, one, know what's out there, know how you're performing so you can identify the gaps and where that innovation may help you close those gaps based on expectation.
Thanks, Scott. Rich, let's go to you. What challenges are you seeing in the marketplace today?
Sure. So when I look at the retail experience, which has traditionally been in person only, retail has really become now more omni-channel, where we all live in a hybrid world where the online experience and the offline experience are merging together. So when we think about most brands, the online experience is driving the offline experience, and vice versa. The offline experience, or that face-to-face experience, is driving that online experience. And most customers are active in multiple channels, often during the process just to buy one item. So one of the key challenges we now see with brands that we support and help to improve is to be able to execute across a channel agnostic methodology, where one brand consists of really a many channel strategy in terms of how they interface with the consumer and how they support the consumer, either in a retail environment or, as was Scott was just mentioning, around a customer service environment. And the three areas we really see retail evolving over the next several years is one around the types of tools and technologies that are being deployed in order to support frontline staff and support that channel agnostic approach. The ability to form more of a community around the brand presence. So when consumers do come in for an in-person experience, it's more than just about going in to purchase an item or to subscribe to a service. It's more about the community and what that brand stands for in their local community. And taking it even further in terms of the future of the metaverse. We're starting to see certain brands having a presence in what is called the metaverse and being able to communicate and connect with consumers online in a similar quote-unquote retail environment, but through an online presence.
Thanks, Rich. Denise, you've got firsthand experience with this, right? So you were a leader in several CX organizations. What kind of challenges were you facing, and what do you see for the future?
Well, I agree with both Scott and Rich that technology has changed a lot. But what I see that's most prevalent is that customer expectations are at an all-time high. I mean, customers are extremely demanding because in the old days, what would happen was they had to call you in order to find a solution to their problem or their concern or their issue. But today they can go online, they can find their own issue, they can go to social media, they can go to YouTube. There are many ways for customers to solve their own problems. So when they finally reach out to you, they are expecting a whole lot. And so they're extremely demanding. You know, when I worked in the last contact center, I readily gave out my cell phone numbers to our clients and our customers and our guests. And they would call me all the time. It didn't matter what they were calling me. They would call me on a Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock in the afternoon to talk to me about their problem. I'm not at work, I'm at home. So clients can reach out to you and they're expecting an answer right then and there. And so what I find is that we have to be ready for that. We have to be hiring the right types of agents. You know, the types of agents and the personality types of the agents need to be a little different. The leadership team needs to be very customer centric. And we have to be able to respond to our customers any way that they need to receive their response. And so I think the challenge for contact centers is how to find that balance with the channels, and it's not always easy to do that.
Thanks, Denise. Yeah, one question we didn't address yet is who should be listening to the podcast. And our thought is that the podcast is going to benefit business leaders, CX executives, and anyone really that's involved in the planning for the future of customer experience. So Scott, Rich, and Denise, thanks so much for joining today. And we're really excited about this podcast and look forward to working with you on it. And we want to thank our listeners as well. And we'll see you next time.